Welcome to the show where you suggest an object, and I see just how well it juggles. And maybe even add it to my comedy juggling act. It's Evan's Juggling Lab! Labubus. The current pop culture pop mart craze. A wondrously addictive mix of adorable toys and gambling. For in this box, you never know which Labubu you'll get, whether it will be the one you want the most, or the one you detest the most. For the only way to find out is to open it. Then, get a rush of adrenaline, then finally attach it to whatever you desire. Whether that's a handbag, backpack, belt loop, whatever you want, you can. Just don't get them dirty, or they'll lose their immense value. Now, getting yourself a Labubu is quite the process, mainly because you don't want to get hit with the Lafufu, which isn't a cute way of saying you have the flu.
Sorry, Mom, I can't go to school today. I think I have the flu. Ooh.
Now, I do actually have a friend that got hit with the Lafufu and has an amazing knockoff, and they can be quite adorably derpy sometimes. But these ones here that I have are all authentic Pop Mart Labubus. And this one here is my exciting macaron soy milk Labubu. This is my have a seat Dada Labubu. He has evil eyes and I hate him. And this big into energy Labubu still needs to be opened. Unboxing time! What's in the box? What's in the box?
What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? Oh.
So if you don't know how Labubu blind boxes work, essentially, you get a box, you don't know what Labubu you're gonna get, you know it's one of these options, and you hope it's the one that you want. I actually went a lot more in depth about this in my other Labubu video, so go check it out if you're interested. But for now, we do have an unboxing to do right here, right now, so let's get into it. Okay, Labubu. If it's not the one that they said it is too, I might be a little angry, but let's get, oh, this one's like oddly glued. The other ones aren't glued like this. Oh my gosh, it's like fully, okay, it's opening, and, oh, my other ones don't come in a drawstring bag. Intriguing. It is now time for the reveal. It is the green one! Oh, he's just as cute as I thought. I love him. Oh my gosh. Oh, his eyes are sparkly too. We get a do not eat. And a card reminding me that the name of these is Serenity, specifically for this color. And yeah, his little arms move, his little legs move a little bit, and he's ready to hang anywhere you want to wear him. I personally am a belt loop guy. Look at that. He hangs out with me. He's adorable. I love him. But I think a second strong contender is my pocket. Specifically with the lab coat. He doesn't really fit in the other ones as well, but look at him. So now that he's in my hands, I am absolutely in love. And technically, this was the first Labubu I have unboxed because of the Pop Now experience. And to say the least, I was a little bit excited. Here's a sound clip of me unboxing this. So now, I have 3, which means we can officially test Juggleability. Welcome to Juggleability, the test where we see just how well they juggle. This is the most important test of them all, so no pressure, guys. Let's do this. Oh, they juggle pretty good. All right, just like that, they juggle just fine. Honestly, they're pretty good, but if you catch them by their feet, it can be quite difficult. So I'm gonna call it precarious, floppy, yet stiff. And honestly, 10 out of 10. They're basically slightly overcomplicated juggling balls. But you know what's even more important than juggling? Dropability. The second most important sciencey test that we do on this show. So important, in fact, I have to do a costume change. Ta-da! Not for me. me, of course, before the Labubu. Look at him! Now he is just as sciencey as me. But of course, droppability is very important because in order to include a prop in my act, it needs to be able to withstand a drop. I drop often and over a lot of different surfaces. So, let's see how well they drop. The answer is yes, they seem to be perfectly fine, and I have a theory that if we drop them over a studio floor such as this, they'll last forever. But there is a surface that is much more dangerous. Concrete. Concrete is, of course, the scariest material to be performing over for your props. It is one of the best to perform on, but your props do slowly disintegrate. And when I'm thinking about just possibly dropping this adorable little guy, I don't want to. So, we do have 3 to choose from, and I can't imagine which one I possibly am gonna drop. Let's hope he's okay. It appears his eyebrow might have a slight scuff mark, which isn't actually as bad as I thought. So Dada, I'm so sorry, I will never do that again. But concrete, 1 out of 10. I don't want to drop them, they're too expensive. And you know, I feel like there's one that's even scarier than concrete that I absolutely refuse to test right now, which is grass, because this bad boy is white, this one is a light color, this one might blend in a bit more, but if my Labubus get grass stained, I'll be very disappointed. Actually, I already did a juggling show once where I pulled this bad boy out and showed him off to see if the kids would laugh, and they didn't, which is unfortunate, but I then threw it behind me to throw it back in the box, and it hit my unicycle chain, which means it had a grease stain on it. And then I had to promptly wash it for like probably another hour after my show, and I don't want to do that again. So unless I'm inside where Labubus will have to get a droppability rating of 10 out of 10, and probably a 0 over grass, and maybe a 3 over concrete, I'm gonna have to give it a solid 4. Not because they won't survive the drops, but purely because I'm too scared to drop them. Anyway, now it's time for trick potential. Now when it comes to trick potential, the first thing that's easy to test is if we can do some of the basic tricks. So, we already know they juggle. Can we do the shower? Oh, that's harder than it looked actually. Okay, it takes a bit of calibration, but it's fine. Maybe a little bit of columns action. Ooh. Or even some more complicated Mills mess. Or even cooler, behind the back, under the leg. Okay, it seems that they get about a 9 out of 10 for that. Of course, that 1 point being taken away is just because I dropped a couple times. If I was doing that with balls, there was no chance I would have dropped, but unfortunately, the Labubus are a bit harder to juggle than I thought. Anyway, enough of normal juggling. Let's see if we can come up with some more creative and better ideas for tricks. So, the only thing that's really unique that I can think of is this one here, which I have deemed the Helabubu. Get it? Helabubu? It's pretty silly. So that absolutely has to happen because I have a trick with Chainsaw the Chicken, which is my rubber chicken that I've named Chainsaw. That's called the Helicluctor. Seems a little similar, doesn't it? So that absolutely is a good one, but the only other problem is, the only thing that's really unique about Labubus, other than juggling balls and looking absolutely adorable, is they have the hook. So you can spin them on your finger, you can try to just catch it by the hook, which, I don't know if I'll be able to do that. Second try! Okay, maybe it's harder than I thought. So that one's tough, but maybe we can use it to hook it onto something. Like if I hold my Labubu and then figure out where it opens up, I can then use it to hook it onto like my belt loop like I normally would. Come on! Come on! Yes! Now we have a Labubu. See? It works! Oh my. And that's definitely more difficult than I had anticipated, but maybe I can take it off and switch it out. Come on. Let's find the opening. Come on, Evan. Oh!
Intriguing. Update, it's not broken, it just slid off. So that tells me that's not really a viable trick, because if they just slide off and fall apart, then the hook won't be attached, and that's not ideal. And also, it took too long to be cool. So the only other creative thing I can think to do with the Labubu itself is trying something like trying to make it actually land sitting down, so you catch it, he's actually looking the right way. But that one isn't really a trick necessarily, it's just, oh, I have to make sure I catch it so it's facing you, which it's not cool enough. So, there is another part of Labubus that I think we could have some fun juggling, which is the boxes. Now, in this state, they definitely won't juggle very well like this. As you can see, it's terrible, but I think if we make them look like boxes again, we could do something cool. Because if you don't know, there's a juggling prop called cigar boxes. And what you can do with cigar boxes is a bunch of really cool, interesting tricks that are very, very different from normal juggling. And I've trained this many, many years, so there most certainly is a lot of cool tricks we can try. So let's see if these will attach together again nicely. That'll work for, oh no, it won't. Oh, it does work, because if you look closely, there's like a little green thing inside, and it's not perfect because there's definitely a flap here, but for experimentation purposes, it'll let us know if it works or not. I think I'll leave the bit of weight in here because there's the bag in here, and I think the do not eats are still in here, just to give them a little something, because they are quite light. Now just a reminder, this one is a lot smaller, so if it doesn't work, I'll just have a seat and give up. But, let's see if we can do this. Oh. Ooh. No. Oh my goodness. This is insane. So the answer is, it does work. It's just really hard. So deciding on a rating for trick potential, it can be quite difficult because I have to include how easy they are to do basic tricks, how creative they are for tricks, and also how easy they are to do the tricks. Because these also involve two different props technically. So if we say 9 out of 10 for regular juggling tricks, and maybe a 3 out of 10 for creativity, and a 6 for the boxes. So if we combine all those together, it should equal to something around 6 out of 10. But now it's time for something much sillier. Joke potential. Now, the Labubu's joke potential is probably the most important part of this series, and that's because comedy comes before juggling. So I'm gonna do a 10-minute writing session, and we'll see what jokes I can possibly come up with. Let's do this. Alright, I officially have a full page of Labubu jokes and drops, and we'll see if any of them are actually funny. So of course, to begin, we have the Labubu. That's a solid one. We also have, this is a Labubu, but this is a Laboing Boing. Up next, we have even more wordplay with, this is a Labubu. This is a Labubu. And then imagine I have a Band-Aid and we go, this is a Labubu boo boo. Sorry, little guy. Could be funny. Up next, we have a knock knock joke. Knock knock. Who's there? Labubu. Labubu who? Why are you crying? I have heard this one before with just saying boo, and they say boo-hoo, and it is quite a bit funnier, but you know, this next one has two options that I can't decide between. The first one is, what do you call a group of Labubus? A hangout. Because they're hanging. And this is the other one. What do you call a group of Labubus? A labundle. I really can't decide, but this next one's also quite silly. What do zippers and Labubus have in common? Too many teeth. This one here is kind of derivative of other jokes I've heard before, like why didn't the Labubu need a snack? He was stuffed. But this one's all me. Why do fake Labubus always cost less? They only cost a few dollars. Then I was having a lot of fun with the Lafufu jokes, but this is the one that kind of prevailed. Why are legit and fake Labubus always fighting? They have a Lafu feud. And last but not least, Labubu. I'd like to apologize. So in conclusion, it was really hard to write jokes about Labubus, and I think the main reason is there's not a lot to them. Honestly, they're adorable, they got teeth, they got a keychain, they're stuffed, but they really don't have a lot of lore behind them, so it's really tough to like get that kind of joke going, which is always quite fun. So there's a reasonable amount of puns based on their physical attributes, but I think I'm gonna have to give them a 5 out of 10. Now that isn't to say these guys aren't funny or my jokes about them aren't necessarily funny. Some of them aren't though. But I do think it'll take a lot more effort to make something truly funny. However, we do have enough to at least make some silly TikToks. Something shines on my Twitch streams keep requesting that I make a show. Now it's time to see if I can put on a show. Let's take all these silly jokes with our incredible juggling tricks, and I'll get to practicing, and I'll see you on opening night. Hello everybody! Today, I'm gonna juggle something very exciting for you all, and something that I really hope you all know what it is. Labubus!
Woo! Woo-hoo!
So, a few of you guys know what they are, and you guys are gonna be very excited.
Yeah!
But for everybody else, I guess I have some explaining to do. Basically, what a Labubu is a toy plush keychain made by the illustrator K-Sing Lung. And they're absolutely adorable, and they come in these little casings. See? They're great! Although they don't come in lungs. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of permits and legal issues that come with using those. But if they did, I'm sure it would be a breath of very well-packaged air. However, these casings do actually juggle quite nicely. Check this out. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Woo!
Now, of course, these casings are actually what makes this a blind box item, which means that before you open it, you have absolutely no idea what you're gonna get. There's all these different color options, there's different rarities, and that just makes it gambling. But for kids! Some sort of. But hey, at least it's not like blackjack or roulette or something. Although that'd be tough to do with Labubus. 1 second. Ta-da! Here is my Labubu, the future of adorable plush pendants. Look at him, he's adorable! And plush, and a pendant. But of course, he does do some very cool tricks. Like here it is. Welcome to the first ever Labubuette wheel. Get your bets in, red or black, whichever one you think it'll land on.
Red!
Any day now. All right, here we go. No more bets, no more bets, and the answer is I bet I should probably move on from gambling. I don't want to be a bad influence. That's probably double green, not red or black, so sorry if you bet those ones. But I don't want to be the bad influence here, so I should probably cut the knife juggling act too.
No!
Well, let's juggle some Labubu, shall we? So here we go, our first trick. This is the Hellabubu. And this is no longer a Labubu. It's a Laboing, boing, boing. Let's see if we can juggle these things. Of course, we do have 2 more Labubus. You think I would be walking around with only 1 Labubu? And yes, of course they're legit. I perform for children. You think if I show up with a fake Labubu, a Lafufu, if you will, they wouldn't burn me at the stake? Roast me alive? You'd be wrong, so let's grab 2 more Labubus. Although, do you know why Lafufus are always worth less than Labubus? They only cost a few dollars. And I probably shouldn't have any. They'd probably not get along with my actual Labubus. They'd have a feud, which is a problem. So let's start juggling. Look at that. They juggle. It's very important. What's that? Oh, why is only one of them clothed? Oh, well, of course, that's because this is our Labubu.
Obviously. Although he did get hurt in his last experiment, so now he's actually a Labubus with a boo-boo. Which is not ideal, so make sure you practice safety when doing science experiments. Especially juggling. Speaking of experiments, let's see if you guys like this joke. Here we go. Why wasn't the Labubu hungry? He was stuffed. I guess we should end off with the ultimate.
Woo!
Here it is, the ultimate grand finale. We're ramping up with... I almost dropped that one, but we're ramping up with the cooler tricks, the crazier jokes. Here it is. Knock knock. Let's try that again. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Labubu.
Labuboo who?
Why are you crying? The juggling show's not over. This was just the first act. We got more after that. Don't worry. Don't. I promise. It's fine. And just like that, that was Labubus. But it's not truly science unless we've written something down. So here's our official ratings. Juggle ability, 10 out of 10. Drop ability, 4 out of 10. Trick potential is a 6 out of 10. Joke potential, only 5 out of 10. And all that together makes an overall rating of 6 out of 10. Not bad. But of course, even more important than science, this video is supported by my Patreon members. So thank you very much to all of our patrons over at patreon.com/EvanTheJuggler for helping make this video possible. Of course, if you want to become a patron, go check it out. It's only $5 a month and you get all sorts of really cool Evan the Juggler exclusive content. There's of course TikToks that were too raunchy for TikTok, YouTube video early access, all of my past Twitch stream VODs, blooper reels, and more. So of course, if you want to become a patron, go check it out today. And thank you to all of our patrons, because you guys are awesome. And with that, that's an episode. If you guys have a suggestion for a future one, make sure to leave it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!